That was really important, that. Lots of us stood up there. I've not seen that before, and I certainly didn't have that agenda to make those statements prior to what I heard Dave say. There's a point I alluded to. There's still lots of community that will feed on the feast of nonsense. They're still part of us, and they need education. Dave doesn't want educating, and he's disavowed flat Earth. He's demonstrated that. And when I've heard that, I'm happy to say, well, good, sod off. Actually, I'll make the statements. I don't want you speaking for me anymore. Go away. The evidence for me to say that is now there. Wouldn't have done that before tonight. Yeah. Wouldn't have been so obtuse. It's now there. He's told us he's not part of us. He's not a flat earther, flat Earth Dave. Or it could be a bull a million times bigger Dave.
Well, what is funny is that he debated Dave Farina. Professor Dave explains, right? And Dave Farina is kind of an embarrassment on the Globe side, but I don't think he's as much of an embarrassment as David Weiss is to us.
I was thinking the same thing, Brian.
Right, yeah. But they did debate. The two of them debated.
He's worse than cream of wheat. I'm not going to disagree. Certainly to me.
Didn't all the callers say that they want Dave even speaking for them anymore? Didn't I hear that the other day? They were embarrassed the last video.
Yeah. Professor Dave often gets these things wrong, even with his own claims. But the point is, he's 100% on the Globe side. So at least you can respect that. You know what I mean? But David Weiss, when push comes to shove, at least when push comes to shove, Professor Dave will insult you, right? Or whatever, red herring, something. Whereas with David Weiss, when push comes to shove, he's likely to start accepting, well, it might be a Globe. Do you know what I mean? Well, I'm a true worker. Do you know what I mean? It's weak. It's just weak. I don't respect it.
What do we do? Other than implore...
push us.
What, sorry?
We push us. Well, you got a show. Huey's got a show. Start promoting and reaching out to these people so we have proper representation.
Well, that's what I do. When I hear somebody who's been on a channel basically trying to be a representation of Flat Earth and they've been very bad, I contact that channel and I say, listen, I've been in this arena just about a decade now. I promote myself. I just point out, rather than coming across as just destroying the other person, I just point out that I have a greater knowledge base than this person, and that if you want, someone who is more legit, then I'm willing to have a conversation with you, or you can have it privately, or we can have it on your show, whichever. Now, I haven't got any response yet. So a couple of them, when I've reached out to them, they instead of choosing me, they chose Witzit.
But that's what I'm saying. It may be designed in a way, Brian.
But you have to do it. Yeah. But if they don't reach out to them, you don't know. Go on, Neil, sorry.
Well, I'm saying it might be designed that way, where they don't want to deal with any. They know, but they just don't want to talk to anybody here.
Well, no. If you listen, have to be realistic. If you just run on a YouTube channel and you have different topics on it week in, week out, and you go looking for somebody to bring on concerning this topic on the Flat Earth side, right? If you look for someone to bring on the Globe side, you're going to find Professor Dave. You might find Fight the Flat Earth or MacToon, but you'll probably find Professor Dave first. So the thing about it is that who are they going to find first? They're going to find David Weiss, they're going to find Witzit. They're going to find them first. They're going to find me. They won't find me.
He said Dave,
what I mean?
He recommended. Who highly recommended him?
Well, but see, Google. Do you know what I mean? Or YouTube, whoever. I mean, they have more promotion than us. They have more subscribers, all the rest of it. So the more subscribers they have, that means they have more promotion. Because every subscriber they have that promotes them will be promoting them on their X account and everywhere else, you know. So, like, you have to be realistic about it. So I can't say every one of them are false, that every one of them have decided
Hold on,
to
just a sec,
get
Brian.
on with it. Or
Hold on.
yeah,
Jay,
someone's off
can
mute.
you mute? J E.
Sorry, guys.
It's all right. No worries.
Yeah, I'm just saying that if somebody is just running a YouTube show and they don't know any different, they're more likely to run into Witsit than me, right? Or David Weiss than me. Now, it also is a situation where they might want David Weiss on because he's an easier to deal with person. If they did hear the FED panel and they did hear, let's just say, David Weiss, they go, well, David Weiss is easier to deal with. You know,
How much does Dave Weiss pay?
You know what I mean? Well,
How much does Dave Weiss pay for these appearances?
Pay who for what appearances?
When he's on all these various shows, pushing his Flat Earth Clock app, and he's talking about his view of the world, because he's pushing his Flat Earth Clock app, he's got to be paying them, I would think.
No, I don't think so. He's just a guest on there, I would imagine.
I would
Probably
put
be
it
the
past them.
opposite,
I would
to be
expect
honest.
Dave to be the
Yeah,
one
yeah.
approaching them. I mean, I could be wrong. I would expect Dave, being better at PR than myself, to be proactively approaching them to ask if he can go on their show.
And waive any fee to be able to promote his app, which is what you saw in Jesse's show. Like, it was,
Precisely.
can I run this in the background? Yeah, you know what I mean? So it'll be the reverse. Yeah, he's on a grift. He's earning money out of the app, mate. Yeah, and fair play. Mm-hmm. But that's why he's out there. He's a businessman. Understand, every time you see him, what his key points are. Get that app in first. That's what he did.
There's such a well-developed network of brokers who buy and sell these times on various podcasts that it's hard for me to not think that he's paying to be at least on some of them.
Maybe so. That would be if a more prominent channel you had to pay to go on to. What would be your motivation to promote
To sell
Flat
new
Earth?
subscriptions to his app.
Exactly, or to
And I'm not,
promote
and I'm not criticizing him for that portion of it. I mean, that's the American way.
And I've been the same up until tonight, until he's demonstrated that he's not a flat earther. His app should be a true Earth app. It's got nothing to do with whether the Earth's flat or not, because it could be a ball a million times bigger. Yeah, that's part of what Dave thinks is possible. When asked whether or not he knows the Earth's flat.
And thanks for the great show, guys. I'll be back listening again. Thanks.
Cheers, dude.
I'd like to say it was really awesome to see my name in the intro. It's awesome.
I can't wait.
Again, Neil?
I haven't seen it yet.
I come right after you, Neil.
Of course, when I had it all set up to watch it on the big TV, and I had to go somewhere.
Big moment, and you missed it live.
Yeah, that's the, what do you call it, Murphy's Law?
I have to say, I had a little smile to myself when I saw my name. I have to say I did. I was sitting in my car and I didn't come on the Discord. I wanted to see the show start and I wanted to see the intro on YouTube. because I wouldn't be able to see it I may not be able to see it if QE didn't have the stream up for Discord at the time. And I I saw it and I saw the whole lot, and I have to say I did get a little smile when it came on. I was like, that looks pretty good. I have to say, Flatsy, your one was the best. I thought my one was going to be the best. I hadn't seen Flatsy's. Flatsy's was actually the best. Nathan,
Well,
yours is really boring.
thank Neil, or thank Adam. He did it.
Yes, Neil. Yes, Brian. You said yes. Thank you.
Oh, I already told you that yours is really boring.
Yes, twice.
No.
I can't even remember it, Adam. That's how boring it is.
Nathan can't because he didn't see it. He's not
watched
seen it. It
No, I
doesn't.
did. It was good.
Comes out his wheels.
I did. I thought it was good.
What comes out the wheels?
No, it was good. I was
I
impressed.
thought it was boring.
I thought it was a bit long, but I always say that, and I'm not going to skirt my criticism just because it's you. But it was good. Actually, people enjoy the long intro. I'll, even play some nonsense I don't really believe.
Adam's testing you, Nathan. He said, "What came out of the wheels?"
What came out of the wheels of the BMW? All the points, you mean?
Yeah, them.
Yeah, I did
Them
watch the
things
intro.
that
I'm not lying.
resonated.
I was just testing to see if I'm lying. No, I actually watched it and queued it up and checked if QE's sound was good.
What did they say?
Sound was good.
Remember writing the sound is good.
I don't know what all the words were. It was the points you said in the show that it was the points that we make day in, day out.
Brilliant. Could almost believe that you knew what they said. That you'd even read it or looked at it.
I didn't read it. I did have it up though.
He definitely watched it, Adam, for sure. There's no doubt about that.
I did. I'm not lying. I did.
I know he did. And I'll tell you why. Because I had it queued up and we were all talking still, and QE didn't put it on screen. Actually, everybody was chattering still by the time it got way past your bit of the intro. And then everybody realised it had started. You missed all the beginning. What did you think of the Black Swan?
I loved it. Every single bit of it. I love how it was like, what was it? It was, oh man, you had so many productions like as the intro. It was so cool. The intro to the intro.
That was purposely to annoy Nathan to make it longer, whilst also making it more cinematic.
It worked. The first thing you said, too long.
Oh, and at the end when it said, shut up, Neil Productions or something like that, or that was great.
Hey, Nathan, did you like the part where the Black Swan loaded the gun?
You're just bullshitting me now to pretend there's stuff that doesn't happen.
I was wondering, yeah, that was really great. It was just like, yeah.
All right, now you get a chance to see it. Here we go. Join me, QE Live. Up top, give you 5 seconds.
Just point out that the starting bit is QE's. I had something in Latin on this. He says, I'm not having that. I want this. It's much better.
All right, here we go.
hell is this?
Shut up, Neil Studios.
That's what I was trying to say, but I forgot because that's great. That's so awesome, Adam. Good job.
We're cool.
He had Neil contained in a box, and Neil just bust out of it.
I thought it was going to be.
I thought yours was great, Brian.
I thought it was going to be like a Pixar lamp or something.
That was the point, yeah. Done out of love and respect, Neil.
Yeah, that
What
was
is it?
cool. That robot. I liked it. That was great. I liked the whole thing. That's really cool.
You know whose was the best? The best one was by far Brian's, easily by a country mile.
I think so.
I thought Flatsies was the best.
You just
I
saying
thought
that?
Flatsies was the best.
Nah, yours was better. Flatsies was good. Yours was the best one.
Are you saying I'm Adam's special pet?
No, I'm just saying you had the best bit of the intro. That little robot. When I saw it the first time, that I wasn't lying about watching, I thought that's cool.
Well, we all know that you think refracted curvature is the best one.
Well, it's in there too. I noticed that the first time I watched it.
By the way, was he here today?
Nah.
That's it. Take his name down.
Or
No, it's
doing
always
it,
a bit
Neil.
like that. It was like that last time with John D. Like he got it into the intro, and then from then on, I don't think he joined a single show.
Yeah, because he knew better.
Knew better? What do you mean?
Yeah, because he'd get compromised.
Oh, did he?
No, he would have personally got compromised because no one's above reproach here. If you come out with some horse shit, and he's definitely got some horse shit, I wouldn't just stand by because he's a ballbuster. He knew that.
Fair enough. Yeah, good show.
Oh, but it's a cult. It's an echo chamber. But ironically, they always say that when actually this group will call out anyone, flat earther, globe earther, anti-flat earther, which is now what, not a flat earth Dave would fit into the category of anti-flat earther. They all get called out.
So what do you think? You think so? Let's see what happens.
Well, by us, they do. I think that's what Flatsy means.
Oh, I got you.
In our little section of the arena, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone's
We would call them out where they would say that, this group would be the cult mentality, or that we would be the echo chamber, but actually, not actually.
Yeah, it would be fair to say that David Weiss and Jaron and Whitsitt and them, that they have they have an echo chamber. They never disagree with each other. They're always in agreement. Now, maybe they disagree behind the scenes, but nobody cares. You need to be public with that stuff. People might think we're a bit messy, or that, they're kind of brash or hard to deal with, whatever, but we're public about it. We're honest. We all call each other out publicly. There's nothing hidden. There's no we have arguments in the background and we don't do that publicly. No, we do. We do it publicly. Yeah, because that's
exactly.
Everyone gets to see it then and hear it. Sorry.
No, I'm saying, yeah, exactly. You're right. This is the only group that calls each other out, and they ironically say that we would be what they are, because they have to charge you with what they are before they show their cards.
Yeah, I would have to say we're the only group that does that within the arena, I would say. Call each other. I have to say, I did see a bit of it on the ball side. that was more to do with a money issue and stuff. But I did see it, in fairness. But on the flat side, or anything that's not bald side, let's just say, we're the only group that actually call each other out. We call everyone out, everyone. From the minute you join that show, or no matter what you do, then you better be ready for ridicule if it's wrong, because you're going to get told about it.
Brian, if that's true, do you think McToon is going to call Planar Walk out for coming and saying flat earthers aren't serious about the Earth being flat? You think that'll happen? FTFE will come and say, "Yeah, Planar Rock's correct." I'm gonna call, or are they going to call them out and be like, "No, actually, these people do take flat Earth measurements pretty serious. Like you kind of got to if you want to survive."
Well, I don't know. I don't know if Fight the Flat Earth or MC Tune will do that. But I do remember there was an issue, a money issue, where there was, let's just say, GoFundMe's going on, and the money was going to things that had nothing to do with what the GoFundMe was for. And I do remember.
Yeah, Reg Rhetoric, why he ran away for 5 years, and
Yes.
Sean with the W and big moves. Yeah, they left for 5 years, and then Reg Rhetoric's trying to come back like, dude, you grifted a bunch of people, you stole a bunch of people, money from people, like literally, and then you're trying to come back here with your blink test again? Get out of here.
Yeah, that's the problem. You see, I think this is the thing. They are called out, and they were called out on the ball side, and rightly so. Now we said it too, but it was internal on the ball side. But they were called out publicly, and one of the guy Rock, what's his name, Rock, something Rock. He's a baller. He's been around with years, but he was very public about it, and those he was calling out started publicly attacking him personally and all the rest of it, because he was calling them out for being scammers of people's money. That's not what the arena is about. And so
that's kind of what Jesse's specialty is. Like, that's why it was like fun to see him. Like, here's a grifter, Dave Weiss, and he's getting pummeled, slam dunks by Jesse Peters. Like, this is fun, but it wasn't fun for Flat Earth. I'm glad he brought it out. It's like, yeah, Dave Weiss is not a flat earther because Jesse is a flat earther. Like, he can't not be. Like, if you know Jesse's content, you know he's a flat earther.
Well, I thought during listening to him that it's possible that he actually is a flat earther himself, and he's trying to see how real David Weiss is. But I think just the way that Jesse Lee Peterson is, that even if he's not a flat earther, he would still have to take the same track with David Weiss. I reckon anyway.
No, I didn't. Number one, from what we've watched, there is absolutely no way you can glean Jesse's position from this. No way. But number two, I would expect, just based on him being a YouTube person, that it's just looking at subjects that are in the public domain that people are talking about currently and getting guests on because it's interesting to talk about something that people are talking about. And he may or may not give a crap either way. Literally, he may not care. There are literally, genuinely people who, when they go, well, I don't really care either way. Literally, it doesn't seem that in my mental breakdown of it to have any consequence on me. Now, when people do that, fine, people can disagree, but for that person in that moment, they might not give a toss. Now, because I can't make any assessment, I have to assume that as the default position, that he just doesn't care. In other words, he's going to be like, I don't care. If he gave me a yes, I'd have carried on my questioning. If he gave me a no, I'd have carried on my questioning. And in other words, it really doesn't make any difference.
Yeah, he got him to say that he wasn't a flat earther, and then he's like, still, like, here's the other questions. No answers.
I wouldn't go as far as to, at this stage, start calling out the people interviewing him, but it's tempting to say, well, at this point, from this point forth, now there's a crime scene. If you're interviewing Dave as a flat earther, weren't you aware that he wasn't? You know, he does not represent Flat Earth as a community. So stop interviewing him as a Flat Earther. Now, if True Earth is something that's in the public... Oh, it's not. People are actually interested in Flat Earth. Well, Dave doesn't have that to offer them, does he? So why are you interviewing him? Now, it's really a bit too early to do that, but it's tempting.
I think the point of his show is to humble whoever comes on there, because literally every guest that I've ever seen him have, that he humbles them. So they think that they're going to be real buddy with him, and then he'll call them out if he sniffs anything out of them. And he's good at sniffing it out, just saying, as we could see just in this one.
The sniff factor,
He wasn't humble. He was
the whole
humiliated, Dave.
functory vestibular.
Just to go back to what Nathan said, it might be early, Nathan, but it is the point of conclusion in this evening. Yeah? You need to say he's not speaking for me. He
Yeah,
does
that's something I can
not.
do. Yeah, at this point I can go, this man doesn't represent me. I'm a Flat Earther. He is not. He does not represent me. Which
True.
is such a shame. It's a very different position to, you know, a couple of hours ago, where we want Dave to do a better job as a Flat Earther. He's not. So how can I expect him to do a better job as a representative of me as a Flat Earther when he isn't one?
Yeah, he
And
said he's not a flat earther. He's a true earther.
Exactly. It's not a subjective opinion from a...
I mean, not even to bring this up, but flat is synonymous with true.
No.
I've spoken of. You go ahead. Sorry.
Sorry, just flat is synonymous with true. Level. That's true.
Just on the indictment, it's not some subjective opinion I've come to. It's the phrase hung by our own petard. Yeah? They're his words that we've took offence to and listened to, and the conclusions are obvious, as he states it. He's not... He wouldn't define flat. He then gave the direct thing that it could be even a ball still. So, respectfully, there's no animosity here, Dave. I don't know. I'm so far past that. It's disappointment and just a request, if nothing else, that stop pimping yourself as a flat earther. But when you do, I'm going to have to actually interject and go, you're not. By your own admission, you're a true...
It's not as friendly as that, though, Adam. Like, it's not as friendly as that because, like, he knows. If he didn't know, then he wouldn't know. And so it's like there's some options now. Like, is he just a bumbling dumb buffoon? That's an option you could take. Like, Dave is just a bumbling... Or there's some ill intent involved with what he's doing.
Profiteering.
Now that's the negative.
What's the third option?
You've just witnessed the best approach, which is just to hold a man to his word. Don't have to indict a Joe Biden fallacy on him that he's bumbling or in some way. He just doesn't believe that the earth is flat. He doesn't know that it's flat. And in actual fact, he's open to many other things. And as he said in his own words, he's not a flat earther, he's a true earther. So, lovely, and I'm happy for him to be like that. In making that statement, please don't represent yourself anymore as a flat earther, is what I'm saying. And if you do...
But how can you be a true earther with flat being synonymous with true?
I don't care what the definition of true earther is. He made the distinction that he is not a flat earther, he's a true earther. And with that in mind, then I ask him, then don't go on any shows and say I'm a flat earther, because you've just said you're not.
Absolutely,
Yeah,
absolutely not.
That's not what Dave said. Now, if I give a measurement and I tell my foreman, yes, that's a different story. That's not what Dave was doing.
See, Neil is right. Like, Dave is malicious in his intent. He's presenting a pretend story. Some story he's made up in his own imaginary mind that then isn't flat Earth, it's true Earth. See, he's admitted it.
Don't have to
It's
invite
not
him.
some simple, like, he's confused. It's not dumb Dave. This is a malicious Dave who's deliberately excluding information that he has and is deliberately lying.
I don't know if you can
Okay,
say that.
so
He's not, how do you know he's
previously, that
excluding?
might have been relevant. Nathan, just let me have this, just for a second.
Go
That
ahead.
previously, that might have been
How wouldn't he
relevant.
know? He said he's
Right.
deliberately not knowing.
Right. So previously, it might have been a point of interest as we judge his character at those points, right? It's no longer relevant because, by his own admission, he's not a flat earther. Right? That's the only fact from his mouth that you need. So, with that fact in mind, you ask him not to then present himself as such and speak on our behalf. What he is, whether he's got dementia, whether he's bumbling, whether he's malfeasant in some way, are all irrelevant to the purpose of our request. He's admitted he's not a flat earther, and so we request him not to present himself as such.
Precisely.
Anymore.
Precisely succinct.
So that's it. So in that respect, then, I can indict people who interview him as such. You know, he's been. We can call this Dave's. I don't know what the word is, but him being ostracization from the community. Okay, well, if you're not a flat earther, you can't be out there talking as Flat Earth Dave. You know, you shouldn't really have that title because that isn't what you are. It just seems like you're just scamming people into believing you are that so you can hijack people's interest in this subject to flog your nonsense. And given that you've literally decried that now, we can perfectly within our rights to say bugger off from this community now, Dave. You're not Flat Earth Dave anymore. We've ripped that badge off your shirt. You're being kicked out. Get lost. And people who interview him will be on your case going, why are you interviewing this person? He's already admitted he's not a flat earther. Yeah, so you just fell for the scam too, eh? When people start interviewing him as Flat Earth Dave. He's not. He's admitted that. Didn't you know that? More fool you. Shouldn't you find a flat earther to interview rather than someone who's just grifting off that community because you've got an interest in it? Because that's what's happening. He's admitted it. The world at large has got an interest in this community, so there's an opening for people to drift from it. The interest is what Dave wants. People are interested in something. Doesn't matter what. He's captured their interest in that thing, so he can sell them another. That's fraud.
It's direct theft. I think you should patent Flat Earth, actually. Just go ahead and patent it and be like Flat Earth. And then sell levels and like meter sticks.
Very good idea. Maybe apps with sun clocks.
On the level with Nathan.
On the level, yes. Great title.
Every level is parallel to each other level. So I accept that.
All I'm saying is,
I think Dave already has the on the level.
There's a lot of love where the Glovers like to disdain and think that there's some sort of end, like their literal god is they're spiraling into an abysmal nothingness, a black hole, by an imaginary term called gravity, because you think an apple fell on somebody's head and you forgot that there's clouds. Or I'll take an airplane flight, or maybe I'll ride in a hot air balloon. Do some parachutes, do some paragliding. Like the flat earth is so beautiful. And I don't know, Nathan, have you seen Planar Walk? lately
I don't know. Second time
as
it's
Brenda.
come up in this discussion though. What's with playing a walk? 'Cause second time
Well,
it's
I
come up.
guess 6 days ago he put out a thing is Flat Earth serious, and then he at the end of it, 10
I
hours
don't want to be rude.
or
Just
10 minutes.
guys, stop. We're not using the correct pronouns. It's she.
Yeah. See,
Respectful.
at 10 minutes, you realize this is a guy that's afraid of his own reflection.
And you've just done it again.
What did I do, Adam?
You're
This is a
misgendering him.
girl.
Her. Misgendering her. Sorry. You made me do it.
Oh my
I blame
God.
you for that one.
Yeah, and they're African descent, actually, if you really look into it.
She may have that.
Anyway.
She may have that, and she should be proud.
Can we
and
stop
maybe
this
get a bit of
nonsense, right? I
training.
don't look. Literally, as funny as this is, right? I couldn't care less about.
Wow,
yes.
you guys, that's why you
Stop!
have to review
Hello,
this.
stop!
You have to review.
Maybe keep going.
I'm sorry.
Right, let's stop this part of the conversation. I'm sick of it. Right? Who cares? From this point forth, in the same way as we do with Brenda, if he wants to be called she, fine. We'll call him she. Right? So, plan a walk, she. Then nobody's going to call you on it. This wokey standard that we have to adhere to, it's not my standard. It's just so we don't have to have this conversation again and have Adam interject. Because Adam's very keen for people to be gendered correctly. Fine. Whatever. What I do want to hear from you into the break is, what's the issue? He's saying we're not real.
Yeah, I think the real issue is that he's presenting himself, in front of like a bunch of plushy cartoons, saying that people shouldn't be taken seriously when he should be taken seriously when he can't even look in them. And it is just this ultimately what is the argument for the globe. He brings it to this like you can be whatever you think and want to be. Yeah, it is very sickening. It's wild, and it makes this is everything makes sense. That Planar Walk is now a woman makes perfect sense, if you know what I mean.
Not really.
She can do whatever she likes to do, right? And whatever she's doing, I don't care about. Not sure what her actions have got anything to do with.
Well, that's what I'm saying. There was no argument. It was sort of just the announcement that she is fabulous. That's what it was.
They were talking to me for some reason, which would probably indicate a hidden agenda. That level of over talking after the courtesy I gave you. But I think for the rest of us here, her issues with regards to whatever she's bringing up, we don't care about. Could we move the conversation on from her?
But just
Yes,
so we recognise your point into the break,
absolutely.
you're accusing her of projection. Got it.
No, I'm just jealous of her. She's so beautiful.
What? Okay.
It's very simple, right? Why is Planar Walk saying that we're not serious about any of this? Because Planar Walk can't understand how somebody could be serious about it. Because it can't be real in his head.
Yes.
It's that simple.
Exactly. I would go with that, Brian, which is take what he's saying at face value. What's he saying? Saying these people can't possibly be real. Okay, I'll take that as at face value. So Planar Walk thinks we couldn't possibly be real in our assertions that Earth is flat. Okay. That's it. That's what it means. Here we are. We'll show you if you like. No worries.
Yeah, that's the thing, you see. We are very serious about it. We're not messing around. Whereas he needs to believe that we're messing around, because that's the only way that he can accept the situation. He can't accept it any other way. in his own head.
She. Let's not confuse things.
Whichever.
I mean, when you can just describe something as else and then you have to believe it because somebody said so, then, everything's up for grabs.
Well, what I would say then is consensus opinion's really important. People like that.
You notice how I know you don't want this to be the subject, but it'll be the last point, and I promise.
A democracy.
No. What makes reality? Whether somebody, I don't know, maybe pick a random topic like what somebody's gender was. You like people like playing a what? Consensus opinion is what defines reality.
Yeah, people like tint on their windows and like pinstripes on their cars. Okay.
I don't understand what that means. What's that got to do with it? What's adding 15 horsepower got to do with anything?
Well, it has everything to do with preference. It's a preference. It's irrelevant to what is objective reality. Do you have the balls or don't you?
You just don't know what you're talking
This
about.
is
Adding
flat Earth.
No.
We're talking
Adding
about.
pinstripes adds horsepower. You just don't know what you're talking about.
No one disagrees.
Of course not. 5 horsepower for a go faster stripe, 15 horsepower for pinstripes.
I think LEDs really improve performance.
LEDs give you better efficiency.
Exactly.
Everyone knows you're more efficient with LEDs. Extra 5 horsepower. Power and efficiency are not mutually exclusive. Therefore, if you've got better efficiency out of LEDs, obviously that means more horsepower. Just makes sense. Why do you think they all put underglow on the cars? Obvious now. You think
Yeah,
about
if you
it.
had an underglow like clock that would tell everybody like what time it is, and it's like based on the position of the angle of the sun, and then your ride is just like reflecting like what time it is.
You know what you really want to do? Improve performance. Smaller wheels.
Well, that is actually a thing. If you put smaller wheels
I
on,
know.
the car will accelerate faster. I've done that.
It'll definitely tell you
Well, you
it's
put
acceptable.
the smaller tires on, but you put a big rim, and so you stretch the tire. So then it's like then you can get the fully stanced vehicle that's rubbing rims, hard to go over potholes. See, you're not driving fast in that. You're just like, look what kind of crazy shit I did. Congratulations to you for observing this.
I know I was being sarcastic earlier, but that is the stupidest thing people could do to their cars. I've seen that trend where they stretch tires on rims. That is to say that you buy rims considerably larger than the tire, and the stance is such that there's so much camber that you can't get the full contact patch of the tire anyway. So the car is riding on a corner of a tire on a rim that's too big, with the tire stretched so that it's retaining its airtight nature, not on the edge of the rim, but on the middle of the rim. Why? There is no reason why. It doesn't even look good.
They'll put like a skinny bike tire like on like they'll stretch tires on bikes, like crazy shit people build out here in America, dude. It's ridiculous.
I mean, more
It's
power to
brilliant
you.
is what it is.
If someone was asked that person, why have you done that, and they just went, well, it's just a laugh in it, I'd be like, well, that's fair enough. It's the same with things like donks and lowriders. You're like, if why have you done that? Just a laugh in it. It's just good fun. Fair enough.
Well, I said to Tent Man before, Tent Man, and I think Chocolate was there, maybe QE, a couple other, Eli maybe. There was a good few Americans there, and I said they were talking about America and the kind of stuff that happens with America, and America is in so many wars around the world, and this and that thing was embarrassing some of them about different things about America was annoying them or embarrassing them or whatever. And I said, yeah, but they're missing something. Without America, there never would have been monster trucks. No one else was going to build a monster truck. Remember the Bigfoot monster truck from the 1980s?
The embarrassing thing. The embarrassing thing. You had to bring
not
it up.
embarrassing. Not embarrassing. It's that nobody else was going to do that. So America is like, let's try it. That's what America is like. Australia is like that up to a point as well. But America more so. It's like, let's try it.
There's actually a bit more to
America is
monster
like,
trucks
let's
than...
try it.
I'm not decrying your point. I'm not disagreeing, but there is
Thanks.
actually a bit more to monster trucks, which is to say that the idea of a monster truck is born out of a concept or a way of being with a car, which is to say you buy a car and a component breaks. So with off-roaders, that's for obvious reasons, right? You take it off-road, something fails because it's not strong enough. So the idea is you then swap that for something slightly stronger. And you just follow that process indefinitely. Take it out, smash it about. If something breaks, you put a bigger, better, stronger version on. And what you end up with is a monster truck.
You can take the
Have you seen those
Brian.
destroyed Cybertrucks? That crap. Like gas is free. And a petrol engine doesn't on dyno boners. It runs on combustion, like a combustible. I mean, you can make anything combustible. This an engine from 90 will run on straight grain ethanol. Doesn't have the computer chips, right?
Right.
Are you saying something to me, Adam?
Yeah,
Just
there's
gonna say
diesels
that.
out there.
I think you had a great point.
Go on.
Yeah. Well, let's think. Go on. What car would you want to drive if there's a zombie apocalypse? What are you wanting to drive? Passat?
A monster truck.
No,
Exactly, Brian.
Probably not. I'd probably pick.
Save America.
No, I'd probably pick something like a 1990s E190, something like that, a Merc with a diesel engine that is essentially indestructible. That even if the electrical system was ripped out, you could bump start it, it would continue to work indefinitely. You know, something just so
yeah, but how are you
reliable.
going to drive over all the people, all the dead people and all the dead people and abandoned cars and all the rest of it? You won't be able to drive over all them. You're going to need something that can blow them out of the way or drive over them.
I'll be getting
That's
50
the
to the
point,
gallon
Brian.
while you're getting 3 yards to the gallon in your monster truck.
You won't be getting to where they have
I think a Volvo wagon would do pretty good in that kind of situation.
Can you not?
What am I trying to do?
Brian and I have got a
over
very
people.
serious argument about the monster truck needed in the apocalypse, and we're going to get to the end of this. This is important stuff.
Well, is it going to be automatic or?
Absolutely, it'll be automatic. I'm not driving any manual.
Really? Oh my!
Why?
See, okay, automatic or manual?
Manual.
Do we have still water? We have still water after that apocalypse.
Manual because it's
It'll
less
be
likely to
automatic
break.
because Brian's not very good at driving.
What I really want to know is what's for dinner, QE.
Shh. What are you doing? What are you doing? What's going on? This isn't. Oh, she's saying this is boring. Oh, very subtle.
I knew QE probably wasn't there because he's probably eating dinner.
I just ate it real fast. It's a Wendy's cheeseburger and fries, and I'm over it. I ate it too fast, so I'm not feeling too good because I was overly hungry from the many concise people on the show.
You know, I could tell that you were needing to go eat dinner because there's a way that you get where I can tell your blood sugar's low, and we don't need that.
Drill sergeant needs to come out.
You should ruined a perfectly good discussion on monster trucks, but there we go. That's just my opinion. I was really enjoying that. Gotta be honest, Brian. I think you were too.
Well, one thing is for sure, my automatic monster truck is definitely going to get to the gas station where they'll have all the diesel. I don't know if your Mercedes is going to get there, but I don't care either because I'll get in the field.
I
Well,
want to put
I
your
could.
claim, Brian,
Sorry,
to QA. Sorry, Flazy. Go on.
I was just gonna say he doesn't like the idea of driving a manual, but the best way to get over and through terrain that would be like uphill, you would need to be able to shift to a lower gear.
Yeah, that's what the automatic gearbox is for. Shifting to the
They do
gears
have some really good
for me,
automatic.
so I don't have to do that. Like just like straight into D, off you go. Not a problem, Fatsy. Everything's sorted. I have already predetermined all that. It's all. Thanks. Anyway.
But it's an automatic gearbox. It's not magic.
Yeah, it does the low stuff when it needs
We're
to.
just kind of talking about
Yeah, your average slushbox just looks
connected
across the
to
road and
your-
goes,
your
you know what?
destination."
I think I need a very low ratio for this uneven turf. I mean, being sentient and a gearbox and all, I'll know that, won't I?
Or you could just take the automatic transmission and put it in low 1, for goodness sakes.
Who's putting it in low 1? The gearbox itself?
I just put it into D and I use the accelerator in the correct way, and there isn't a problem.
Not a very good driver. That's what I'm saying. It's all. Yeah.
I don't
fine.
have to be. I have an automatic.
No, because you've got an automatic gearbox.
That's what it's all about. Are you
Communist.
hitting?
Yes.
Are you retarding the nature of traffic?
It's just a communist.
Well,
no, Bright, I've got to get it to
Everybody should be as slow
Brian.
pace as him. That kind of thing. You automatic.
say that again.
With an automatic, you're driving as slow pace as him, and you're just driving at a slow pace.
Oh, no.
No, you can drive at any pace you want. You can drive slow, fast, whatever.
You're impeding. You're retarding the flow of traffic. Oh, here's the left
my
lane. I'm going to just cruise
I'll
at
be
the
going
speed
over
limit.
the top of it.
What are you doing?
No, I won't have that problem. I'll just go over the top
Why
of it.
even get up from fucking bed?
Why did I get? Because I had enough sleep. Yeah, well, in the zombie apocalypse,
If
my
you have an automatic, why
truck,
even get up for bed? Okay, I'm gonna go Uber.
I'm not interested in
Just
Brian's
cruising.
from the lessons, so I'm going to ask you the question because this was Brian's claim initially. QE, yeah, he claimed that monster trucks would not have been invented if it wasn't for Americans.
That's a fact.
America.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
America.
Yeah.
America.
That's a fact, Jack.
Can we just educate Adam? You don't use the A first
MAGA.
of all. It starts with an M. It's Mer.
Said
America.
America. It's like Australia.
No, it's
not
MAGA
Australia.
now.
It's Australia.
Fuck yeah.
Australia, mate.
Anyway,
When you say America, that's some idea that you have in your mind. It's actually MAGA.
Yeah, no, my point was that, like, if it wasn't for America, there'd be so many things that we wouldn't have. Like, America, we wouldn't have had. Like, America had the first high-rise buildings, monster trucks, all kinds of innovative ways of living. Now, Australia, they have their
A lot of brutalism. It depends where you look.
Hang on, just give me a second. Australia have their fair share now as well, but they just didn't have the population to go with it. But America, there's so many things that innovative things in ways of living and things for people to have in their lives that we wouldn't have had if it wasn't for America.
Name 5.
Like, there was no way anyone in Ireland was going to build a monster truck and it become a thing.
Monster trucks ain't one. Name 5.
Yeah, be specific. I want to know about these
Cheeseburgers.
I think Into the Break has had a few beers.
The Europeans had more than enough time and a cheeseburger. Yeah, it
What are
wasn't
you
until the
talking about?
formation of America that the cheeseburger came into existence.
Europe has refinement. America has ingenuity. That's the
Eat
difference
pan.
between the two.
Says,
No,
Oh,
yeah, I do appreciate good engineering. Absolutely, Brian. And we're talking about these very precise big machines. They have these big machines. They do lithium coring.
Yeah,
You know,
I said
extra large,
ingenuity.
huge machine.
extra large cup sizes.
The supersized me guy died. Did you know that?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, dead.
Yeah, Morgan Spurlock. Yeah, that was sad.
Wow, that's Mick. Thank you. Is that supposed to be like the prize in the box you get at the end? He did some pretty good work. You know, I think he would appreciate us even mentioning. So good job, and he did prove that the Earth is flat. So doubly so.
Back to Dave. What are we going to do about Dave?
Open carry.
Open carry?
Well, Dave
Yeah.
is
Adam's
a
still
true
on the
surfer
5.
now.
Adam's still
Excellent.
on the 5, Nathan.
You
So
scroll
we got
forward
monster
4.
trucks. We got monster trucks. We got cheeseburgers. We got open carry. Go ahead, Adam.
Extra large cup sizes, i.e., supersized meals. Nobody bothered before America. No, you don't go. That's not a European thing. Hey, Faye, you want more? Yeah, that's a wholly American invention. Have a gluttonous extra pork.
Is there sea sparrows on the table? Can we use sea sparrows yet?
No, that was a NATO thing, so not America. Can't believe Nathan brought up sea sparrows again. Unbelievable.
What? Oh, because
He
I'm
only
out
brings it
there.
up to put it down.
Go on.
When you say put it down, Brian, do you mean down with reference to a stationary plane? The sea sparrow
Yeah.
demonstrate.
I'll try not to bring it up again, Kiwi.
Yeah, Jesus.
For
Were you trying
somebody
to...
that actually adopts an up down, that was the point of that little witty remark. Yeah, the sea sparrow should be one of your most favourite things. Every bit of it is referencing the surface of the sea that you so keenly reference at the moment. Yeah, should now be your favouriteest thing. Every bit of its action.
Yeah, it will
It's
be.
parallel to the sea surface.
It will be. Now I've got
You
something
know
really
what-
solid to put alongside it. I mean, up until now, it's been weak sauce.
No, what it was is that you didn't look into the details. You were lazy about it, and now you realise, Jesus, that's an awesome argument.
That is true.
And it was like, well, I didn't promote it, so now it's time to character assassinate the argument.
That's true. That's true.
That's
How,
what's
how
going
was your time aboard that gunship? By the way, Brian, was it good?
My time I went aboard the gunship, I wasn't aboard it.
Brian, he's only
It was
jealous.
true.
Brian, he's never rode a sea sparrow like you and me. He's jealous.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, like that Slim Pickens guy.
Are you saying, Nathan, that I have to own a theodolite and an auto level and be out doing surveying to be able to claim that surveying addresses a horizontal plane of reference?
No.
Grand.
You know what you shout
Who said
when
horizontal?
you fly on a sea sparrow? Yeehaw.
My issue isn't that what is contained within the information about the sea sparrow isn't proving a flat Earth. I understand the argument. I think it's a fantastic flat Earth proof. But I'm in front of Jesse, and he's like, "How do you know it works like that then?" Well, guy told me on YouTube. Really? And you believed him? So it's just based on your belief, based on.
Well, it's not.
No, it's just based on
not a
everything
gut
I'm
on
you've
backing you,
ever
Brian. I'm backing
observed.
you.
They've
I'm
just
backing you.
told
You're
to
saying
a
I'm lazy.
grander scale.
Hold on. Whoever's wrong
They've
to see.
told you the grandest scale that there is. Then somebody says that no, actually, people climbed to Mount Everest, and then imagine they climb twice that, and then now they're upside down. Their reality. So no, there's a different thing on the table here, and it's like if you agree that local is real, then you disagree with if you're somehow whatever pissing in your face in the sky.
End of the break. Are you in another like voice channel and commenting here?
No, I'm just right here. I'm sorry. I will keep myself on mute. I'm sorry, sir.
No, you're good. We're on the Sea Sparrow.
No, we're not. That's the point.
Yeah,
I'm not on the Sea
exactly.
Sparrow.
Yeah.
If you were, you'd be shouting yeehaw.
Yeehaw. End of the break. You brought up the Sea Sparrow. Stay on it. Hold Nathan's feet to the fire.
And when I made this statement,
I mean,
earlier,
it's a direct line of sight, sir.
That's what I'm saying.
It's a sea sparrow.
Yeah.
It's going to hit its target.
Yeah. Just preach it. Don't let Nathan get his 10,000 words in. What were you trying to get your all 10 million words out here today, Nathan?
Okay, so which targets has it taken down?
Just laterally projected on the grid, sir.
Just name a boat that it's taken down with its pencil beam laser.
That one. Is that the one?
HMS Saddam Hussein.
Yeah, that's not its main
It's the
target.
health ship. It's the health ship, sir. It's
No.
the health.
No, it's not its main target. Its main target is shooting down sea skimmers.
That have come from boats, right?
Aircraft.
That have come from boats.
That have come from boats. Yes.
Right. So given that if you've got a sea skimmer
It's
coming
been
towards,
evacuated.
it's
Evacuated.
So given that, one would assume. No, let's try that third time. One would assume that if you've got a sea skimmer coming towards your boat, that there's a hostile engagement taking place for you to engage it with the Sea Sparrow missile to take down that sea skimmer, and then presumably after that, the boat that
the
shot
fuel
it.
The flag has been taken.
Ruined. Going on.
Nathan, to hit this sea
I made my point. I'm finished.
would you be in it?
Bloody hell! I give up.
Sorry.
This is a pointless conversation. It seems my objections aren't going to be heard.
I listened to him.
I thought it was going to be a witty retort. So
I asked what boat it took down, and I was told it took down sea skimmers. Okay, from the hostile boat that was then rapidly sunk. Oh my God, I'm never going to get to say it.
I don't think you are.
My God, so it's just that it's a really cracking proof. That's why my rebuttal to this garbage, let's just call it as it is. This is shite. You guys that need to interrupt me 5 times, you can laugh about it, but you don't want to hear it, how crap it is. So let's hear the name of the boat it took down, that was taken down in the process of using the Sea Sparrow missile to take down skimmers. Which boat was then sunk thereafter as a result of that? Name it.
Doesn't have to be a boat.
Doesn't have to be a boat.
You don't have to do a Dave Weiss. I just need the name of the boat, whoever's talking.
You don't have to do a Dave Weiss.
You just need the name of the boat, please.
The Mary Jane.
Have you just made that up? Pretty sure you have.
These are military operations, and me and QE could tell you that we'd have to kill you.
Oh, I see. So this is a pretty poor standard then, if I actually tried to appeal this myself then.
You know what you're asking us, Nathan? You're asking us, how can you prove the route of the flight from Santiago to Sydney? That's what you're asking us.
I don't use that.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what route they're taking if the airplane is using the lift effect. It doesn't matter what ship the Sea Sparrow missiles hit. It's if they're using the process. It's the process that's
Exactly.
important. And it's not just ships. It's anti-ship cruise missiles and also low-flying aircraft,
Okay, I'll
which are
take
flying
that on board.
below
So,
100 feet.
okay, when did it go through this process? What was the example?
The example. What do you
Yeah.
mean? Did they give an actual real-world
Doing
example?
it? Yes,
Well,
doing it. Yes, it doing its
Roller
thing.
let's
coaster
just
ride.
hang on. If
Yeah,
it's
we've done
shooting,
that.
if it's shooting for up between 30 and 60
Stop.
hang on. I'm trying to tell you something.
What are you saying? If?
Riding on a roller
Excuse me.
coaster.
Stop. I don't want an if example. I wanted the example of it doing it. If the process is what's important, let's see it doing that process, or give me an example of the process being undertaken, please.
I'll have a look online and see if there's a video.
You don't
of it
have
on
this?
YouTube.
What you mean? You don't have it to hand? You don't have it
Oh,
to
roller
hand?
coaster.
have
You've
to-
never been
I
on a
have-
roller coaster, Nathan?
Sorry,
You've never been on a roller coaster?
Please,
Not arguing about
into the
roller
break,
coasters.
please. Nathan is getting very angry.
No, I'm not. I'm just pointing out the flaws in the argument.
There's no
I
flaws in
am.
the argument.
Have you not been on a roller coaster? Just
Yeah, I've
yes
been
or
on a roller
no.
coaster. Yes,
Like,
I have.
do you love
Okay, let's
roller
go down
coasters
this
or
red
not,
herring.
dude?
Okay, what you want me to
Do
grab
you
the red
love
herring?
roller coasters or not?
I heard
Simple
it 5
question.
times. Do you want to stop asking the same question? Yes, I've been on a roller coaster. Next.
So,
No, but do you love it? Do you love it or not?
So we're not getting a name of a boat that's been sunk as an example, and there's no demonstration of the process being
No,
given.
we know.
I'm talking
We
to
know
Brian.
that. The Earth
I'm
is
talking
flat.
to
But
Brian.
Do you
I'm
love
talking
a
to
roller
Brian.
coaster
This guy is ruining this
ride
conversation.
or not?
Can you stop ruining this conversation, please?
I'm
Please.
Into the break,
Please.
please.
I'm talking to Brian. Yeah, so far, I've come up with a couple of things that I'm asking to back this claim of the process, and an example of when it's been used. Neither have been forthcoming. Just pointing that out.
the weakness you've got to recognise. You've got a point. There's a weakness in the argument, and the weakness in the argument is the plausibility of the US military and what they've cited and shown. And at that point, I will concede you win. If that, because that's the point where you win. I've got to challenge the US military as to whether it's a bit like challenging NASA. So it's a good win, yeah. But I've got to accept the word of an authority.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Would it not be the exact same authority that's telling us we've got a sky vacuum? Am I wrong in that?
No, that's why I said it's unacceptable. Fair enough.
I'm not appealing to the same authority as NASA would be if I said there was a sky vacuum as an authority.
No, you're not. They're not military.
Okay. They're not a government agency.
They are a government agency, but they're not military.
A different government agency under the authority of the
Yeah,
same
a different government agency.
I see. You see my problem?
You're good?
No, definitely not. It would be nice if the objections I hold for it weren't marked. They were acknowledged as they were by Adam, but I'm probably not going to get. I'm being told I'm getting angry and stuff.
We just call it woke. It's a very simple thing. We just say woke. This is woke, and it could be like woke, like whoa.
That's wonderful. Can you stop ruining this conversation with utter garbage into the break? Because that was so on non sequitur. It was just ruining the conversation. Woke. We're talking about the sea sparrow. There's nothing woke about this discussion.
It's what these people are talking about. When it is what they're talking about, like why they think that there's some globe here delusion like manifesting. It's like, no, like you just work on TikTok because there's no globe there. Like they all twerk on TikTok to the on TikTok, and it doesn't exist. It's all just hardwired underground.
No offense.
There's no globe.
No offense. Into the break. No offense, but I think you have too much alcohol in you to hold a conversation.
I put too much alcohol.
Or maybe
Okay, Brian. I do because Bev has told you how it's so very disparaging because everybody's sort of mean and macho. when they
good.
talk about how flat the Earth is.
Nobody's
And I
having
don't
a go
think,
at you into the break. We
I
just don't want you
should
to ruin
stop
everyone
being
else's
that
time. Enjoy your buzz. Nobody's going to have a go at this point. But if you continually do it
I'm
when you've
sorry.
noted it about 5 times and keep talking through people going, look, man, you keep interjecting with non sequiturs. So could you just chill out, enjoy your buzz? Anyway, it'd be nice if it was acknowledged, right? I say it is a good proof. I would talk
I
about
acknowledge it.
That's it. Immediately ruin the conversation again. I'm going to give up on this soon.
Into the break, you need to go in, you need to go on mute, because it's not possible for us to communicate with each other when you keep on coming in. Because, no offense, enjoy what you're doing, but you're intoxicated. It's just not possible for us to
No,
have
I'm
a
sorry.
conversation.
There's just a lag. I don't mean any disrespect. I apologize,
We
actually.
get that. We just need you to stop
Yeah, just
talking.
go on to mute.
Thanks. Right. I'm not saying it's not good or it isn't, perfectly usable as a flat Earth proof. The sea sparrow, excellent, 5 stars. But when and if I was in the position that Dave was in, and if that was all I had, I'd stutter and stammer and worry that I'd be called out in the ways that I've just called it out. And I've just thought of those off the top of my head. Yeah? In other words, it's just not for me. It's just not my flat Earth proof. It's not saying it isn't one. It's not saying it's bad. It's just not my silver bullet. Yeah? And for the reasons I've given. And they're not justifiable that I would actually give those. I'm postulating that they could be objections someone could give me if I used it. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah, it's plan B.
Yeah, I understand your objection, Nathan. I never said there was nothing wrong with your objections. But your objections is basically, I'm just going to lay it out here. Your objection is they may not be real. That's basically why, the guidance system may not be for the Block 1, ESSM Block 1 Sea Sparrow evolved Sea Sparrow missile system. They may not be real or may not be correct. Well, you'll have to take that up with the US Navy, like. They're the ones who's
This is
promoting
the
it.
point. Right. So I get Nathan's point. These horses for courses, and if I'm on Jesse's show, that's not what I'm bringing up as one of my fundamental
it's
proofs.
flat.
But all right, easy, dude. But imagine right now, I'm stood on top of a battleship, and I'm talking to the guys that I'm asking to turn back time. It's a very, very good analogy to describe flat Earth to those people.
Well, it does. It is good, because if what they're saying is correct, then and true, then the guidance system, the pencil beam radar, is making a parallel with mean sea level for up to 50 nautical miles. That is.
I love the way you phrased that. You didn't say there's no Earth curve getting in the way. You just, it's parallel with sea level. I mean, I have no issue with any of the aspects that are detailed with context.
Actually, what we're looking at.
Brian, just to back up the Sea Sparrow then, so just to come back, because I'm playing a bit of advocacy here, but actually, when you present it like that, then what you're going to then have to mitigate against is not just whether you believe or not the US military is your get out that it's not reasonable, but, and I remember I'm talking to a baller now.
But pretty good.
Basic ballistics, because that's fundamental in its action. Yeah, so you've then got to mitigate against ballistics a bit here as well, and this is where you should like it, because that ballistics data should then be describing a flat stationary plane that it's all mapped against. Yeah, not mitigating for drop. But yeah, so it is in the detail.
It is flat.
Yeah, fantastic. Best input you've made into the break. Exactly.
Well, if you look into, I know we don't use the ESSM Block 2, Sea Sparrow Block 2. But I know that what it's going to have in it, it's going to have the same as all the anti-ship cruise missiles have, whether they're shot from a ship or they're shot from a jet fighter. They have the same systems of navigation in them. There's no difference. They use the same coordinate systems and they use the same systems as is used in an airplane.
Yeah,
That's what they use.
JPL is just is this technology, for a drone. It's pretty easy, like where it came from, where it's going, like it sort of. What is the question here? It's flat every time we respect it. So what are we doing?
Okay, we're discussing whether or not, as a flat Earth proof, the Sea Sparrow is something that I would get behind, because on the Ballbusters show that we just had, the live show, I was like, I wasn't willing to get behind that as a flat Earth proof. Now maybe it was in my phraseology, because if you say it so overtly like that, it's like, well, what's wrong with it? Well, nothing's wrong with it. It's just I wanted something else. There wasn't that certain something that I wanted as my flat Earth proof to get behind.
The trajectory that you take off of an angle, it's like kicking a football. Kind of simple. It's like jumping a bike, flipping a skateboard. It's
Yeah, like ballistics. I get it.
to
Nathan.
sort of understand sort of these sort of ideas.
Yeah,
Fundamental.
and I do. It's not that I'm decrying
Of
ballistics.
physics.
I'm not decrying ballistics
In the
either.
real world.
It's just there's the aspects I've already detailed. I don't want to trigger the other panel members by going through them again. They get very upset.
I'm not triggered at all. I'm not even remotely triggered at all. I like to be true. I don't want to trigger the other panel members. Hang on now a minute. No one's triggered.
You do this crap to me all the time, Brian. Come off it.
Just the way you say it. I don't want to trigger as if like we're.
Well, that's what I was hoping for, more GPS flat Earth proof. I think that comes to everybody, like literally through your phone, like literally your phone is, or your modem or any receptor, it's like, yeah, a flat sort of Earth, and we have all these wires to data where your cloud information resides and all these other things. And so the eye in the sky is actually just hardwired underground, but you think that it's like over you floating in satellites, but it's just like the traffic lights, just like these flat Earth
Into the
proofs.
break.
There's never anything
Into
that
the break. I can't take it. Okay, please. I can't do this. When we're talking about something and you're going off into because you have too much alcohol in you, that's fine. But I can't have a conversation with someone with that amount of alcohol in it.
Okay, if you want to dismiss it as that, that's not fair, Brian. That's not fair, Brian, and I wouldn't expect that from you, from a potato connoisseur.
I like you as a person, but I just I have a short amount of patience.
Right. He's trolling, mate. Listen to the last comment. He's so pissed he can put a potato insult in to you. Gentleman's trolling.
Oh, did he? All right. Maybe I don't like it.
What did he say? He could put potato in him?
I thought he was a little bit incoherent to the point of weirdness. When challenged there, he was coherent enough to put a cheap ad hom in at the end, which shows he's not pissed. He's just here to troll. There's another one. Add his name to the list. By their actions, they will reveal themselves.
Don't call it this soon. He might just be pissed. He might be trolling because he's drunk.
Okay.
So we'll give him a pass for now.
And then after those statements, if I was in the same state, yeah, shut up, don't you?
Yeah, well, you've shut him up, which I'm glad you have, but we won't be battling him or claiming he's a saboteur.
No. That was Flatsy Klein's first moot.
Oh, really?
Thank you,
would see- Well,
Flapsy.
that was the right time to do it. Perfect.
Well done, mate.
Nathan, I put a video of the ESSM. Pretty sure it's the ESSM. I'm pretty sure it's Block 1 taking out a missile.
You've actually. That was kind of rhetorical, but you've actually
Yeah, I've been
satisfied
looking
my
for a
standards.
video of it. Yeah.
No, fair enough.
Yeah.
I wasn't
But it's up
expecting
in
you
the
to
air,
do that.
so-
Actually, it was kind of. Well, we'll look at it now. I've actually laid it down. I wasn't
Oh,
expecting
no.
to be looking at this, but fine. I did ask for it. Let's be honest. Okay.
Yeah, and I, as I said, I'm pretty sure it's Block 1, but I can't say for certain. But it would be the same thing.
No, I'm not that fussy. I'm
But-
not going to be, oh, it's Block 1. I don't care.
But I do have something else for you, and you are going to. Adam's going to. Adam probably already seen it. You're all going to really enjoy this next week.
This is all about the missile. It's not really showing much about the pencil beam.
Hey, I got the video playing. So get up on QE Live and get
Okay.
ready to
Yeah,
get...
but he's complaining that it's not. It's about the missile, not about the pencil beam. But the pencil beam is not what blows up the ship.
Yeah, I thought you was going to replay the intro.
No, it's
Okay.
got this
Go on.
ESM missile.
Anyway.
But from what I just scrolled through, and it was just, I saw missiles going up and then across, and there wasn't much showing the pencil beam.
Oh, give me a break.
You're wasting your time because no matter what you show him, you won't be happy with it.
What?
I just
had a
point
quick
out that
cursory
they-
glance.
No, before we go anywhere further, this reputable source that's telling us about the ESSM missile is... What's that image behind... What's that picture? That's on...
Globe.
It's on a globe! The double ESM missile, making your reference source ultra reliable.
All right.
Why
You
are you
don't wanna watch
citing
it,
this,
okay.
QE? Why are you citing this globe?
Why am I citing? I just grabbed the video. Son of a bitches.
What is this model you've got on screen?
Son of a bitches. Shut up.
Hold him to it. Hold his feet there. Hold him there, Adam. Hold him.
What's the difference between a citation and a reference?
I was so
Yeah,
itching to tell him. I had to bite my tongue so hard.
All right. We won't watch it then.
No. Well, look, I've said it 5 times. I don't think it's a bad proof. I don't think it's like substandard
Yes,
or
you do.
something. No, I don't.
Yeah, you do.
He's
No, I
going
don't.
backwards now. He's following the David Weiss.
I'm not. I'm not. Right, you've already done it for me.
Nathan White.
You've applied aspects of what we talk about in 2024 to this Type 2 ESM, whatever it's called, the missile, right? And as soon as you did, I'm like, yeah, exactly. I can apply things that I now do suggest is my silver bullet to almost anything. I mean, I just... It sounds
Well-
like I'm
well,
being
you said
arrogant
you
if I
weren't
say I
sure.
wanted a higher standard, because you're going to go, what, like, this isn't a high enough standard? And it will just carry on going, won't we?
No, we won't. You said you weren't sure back in the day. When I said I was sure, I can use any of them that I got on my channel. I can use the salt flats in Bolivia. That was it.
So-
Yeah.
so-
What about that one? You weren't sure with that?
No, measured relief, right? They have actually measured the amount of relief
Yep.
on the salt flats. That's a measurement. I like that one.
Okay, fair enough.
With that one, it's straight away. I go to the aspect of it that I liked, the relief.
Sure.
It's quantifiable.
Yes. Yep.
But I'm happy to.
What about flight?
I've not been like a roller coaster. I've not been to the salt flats. But that's a different. It's like when people throw the "well, do you know China's real?" kind of at you. It's like, well, it's not really a comparable standard. I don't need to go to the salt flats to understand and study the measurement of the relief that there isn't. There's so little of it. Well, that's something everybody can understand, and I can disseminate that to Jesse if I was in front of him, and sit back and be relaxed and not in any way shift uncomfortably in my seat because I'm appealing to some military information that I'm not 100% on, I've not been involved in, I've not witnessed, and while I have studied and do understand the principles behind it and could explain them, I don't feel comfortable doing that. Now, you don't have to like that, and you can nag me all day for it, but that's just how it is.
All right, that's fair. What about flight? You ever been on a plane before?
Yeah, but with the flight arguments in terms of using them as a flat Earth proof, it's a similar thing, right? Until you can start pointing out how what they refuted with curve means level means curved, that's really only recently been overcome in a really meaningful way when we've been taking them to their own calculations that require flat. In other words, stopping them from weaseling out of these things. But that is where Brian's right. That's down to my ignorance about these arguments, like with flight. If I'd have studied them more 5 years ago, then I would have stood behind them. So that's just an ignorance thing as opposed to it not being good.
Well, from what I can gather, I've figured out there was something that was just, and I went about it the wrong way some time back when I went looking at it. And there was something bothering me, and I knew there was something wrong, and I'm doing something wrong, and I figured it out. Pretty sure I have. I am sure I figured it out. Where, you know the way they talk about that point of dissolution, remember the offing and the point of dissolution, and where the maths for a sphere Earth come from, some of the maths come from celestial navigation from a couple of hundred years ago, when they used to talk about the ships and what would happen to them as they disappear, or stuff to do with the horizon. You remember all that stuff? The 10th
Yeah,
man,
it was 10th Man. He went through it. It went through it in a very specific book, and it had the Earth curve calculator in there. It just wasn't labelled up with Earth curve.
No, because see, it's not about the 3959 globe. It's about the 46187/6R globe, because that's the one they try and insert into celestial navigation. And I knew, because I saw the dip chart before, where they tried to give a dip chart that was made or presented by an Indian captain. But this dip chart, anyway, I have it on my other computer. It tries to give a mathematical distance to a mathematical horizon. And I know why they have to do that. They need to come up with a mathematical horizon for them to be able to insert some kind of a dip, but also over a horizontal plane. It's nonsense. But I have figured out what it is that they're doing. And it is so stupid, but it makes total sense to me when it comes to dip. Because they can't claim dip. See, they try and claim a 7/6R distance, an horizon that would be matching a 7/6R globe, right? But that distance has to be a horizontal. And they always try to get their dip to their 7/6R horizon. If you look at Metabunk, the dip to their 7/6R horizon is always almost exactly the same, right, as the dip correction in the almanac, right? But I knew there was something going on there, and I figured out what it is. And I have proof that they're using a horizontal plane. They're not using a curved distance between the observer and that 7/6R horizon when they're trying to claim a dip to a 7/6R. Not that they can claim it to a 7, but this is what they're trying to insert. I've figured out what it is they're doing, and it's like it makes total sense now. Something I was looking at before, but I didn't stop myself. Now I know. This is going to cause uproar. I guarantee it.
Okay, so this is in the ongoing saga of dip correction to a refracted horizon. I've got that bit. But you're saying the 7/6R inference of the refracted horizon position when calculated.
Not a refracted. No, not a refracted horizon, an extended Earth.
Yeah, but what they're calling
let me put something into Master B, and someone might be able to share it there, and I'll show you. Right, 1 second now.
Yeah.
Let me know when you can see it.
Okay, when we say refracted horizon, we in this discussion, Brian.
It's only their claim.
Brian and I understand that we're talking about the extension of the sphere, the increasing, inflating, whatever you want to call it, at 7/6 of R, as opposed to anything in physical reality that's a refracted horizon. I mean, that's not what he means.
Yeah. If you can all see the diagram I placed into Master B, let me know when you can see it. Right? I don't want to be talking to people who aren't able to see it.
Square with with a line through it.
Yes. Right.
Yeah, got it.
Right. Now, from over at the right-hand side, the blue line, the vertical blue line, that's 35-foot observer height, right? Now, I have this in GeoGebra done to scale. This is not the scale, but I can't show it to scale because the scale is so massive, right, in distance. That's a 35-foot observer height, right? The 7/6 distance for a 35-foot observer height is 7.83 statuette miles. So that would be from the full length underneath on the blue line, let's just say, right? Now, from the eye level down to that horizon, there is an angle of 0.04850. But from the horizon up to the eye level, there is also an angle of 0.04850, right? So, and if you look at Metabunk, the dip from the eye level to their 7/6 horizon is 0.097, and that will be almost exactly exactly matching what the dip is in the Nautical Almanac. But this is the thing: it's not one angle; it's two. If you add 0.04850 to 0.04850, you get 0.097. And to prove this, every single distance I use, and observer height, distance based off of observer height I use, all I have to do is take the double the angle, or use both angles, both the one at eye level and the one at the horizon, add them together, and I get the exact thing they give us in Metabunk. But better again, when I use, let's just say if I use a 35-foot, let's just say the angular size of 35 feet at 7.83 statuette miles away, what is it? It's 0.04853. That's what it is. When I match up the angular size of 40 foot at 40 foot at the 7/6 horizon distance for 40 foot, it's exactly half of it, and the same for 50 and every other one. Because how they calculated the dip correction, right? The original dip correction is they calculated it with two angles. One at the eye level, right, the line going down to the horizon, and one at the horizon, at the horizon at sea level coming up. So it's actually two angles that when they come together, it brings the green line at the top down to the blue line. And the angular size of 35 foot at that distance matches 0.0485. It's actually 0.04853. The 40 foot one matches it, the 54 one matches it, they all match it. So all they're doing is taking the angular size of that height. Let's just say my height of Y is 35 foot. Just taking that angular size and at that distance, they're just bringing that. I'll have to show it in a video. Bring that out to a distance where that will be half, right? Half of what their 7/6 R is, and they're doubling it. I'm not really explaining this here. Basically, using a flat plane with proof they're using a flat plane.
Yeah, I see it in the diagram. I'm glad you gave me the diagram because it is very simple now that you've got the diagram. I haven't got it up on screen for anybody else to see it, but yes, it is very simple. To derive these two angles, to halve them, you've got to have that flat baseline. It's the surface level, and you've got to have that flat line that's eye level to derive them from.
Yeah, and I've tried 3 or 4 different heights in Metabunk and using the 7/6R horizon distance, and it's always exactly the same. Each one of them. And when I match them to the angular size of, let's say, the angular size of 35 foot, of a 35-foot object at 7.83 miles is 0.0485. You know what I mean? That's what it is at that distance. And I did this before, and I couldn't understand why it was so far out. But now I understand, because it's actually it's double that, because it's two angles, not one.
So they've figured out
That's how it's calculated.
the ratio between what a feet and inches value would divide into when you're at distance for an angular size, so they can back engineer this halving of the values. Correct?
Yeah. Well, what they're actually doing is they're taking into account that the line is coming up to the eye, but the eye is also going down to the sea simultaneously. So you have two things within that calculation that's happening, if you understand what I mean.
Yeah.
That's how the calculation is working. So it's not just that the line comes up to the eye or that the vertex goes down to the sea. Both things, the dip calculation or the dip correction is having both things happening simultaneously, which is like, if you know an accordion, it's like you have an accordion stretched out and you bring it in together. That's what's happening with the green line at the top. It's coming down to meet the blue line at the bottom.
Gotcha.
But they're always most of the time the ballers are talking about the line that's the purple line that's going down to sea level, coming up to the eye. But it's actually, that's only half of it. The other half is the line at the eye line going down the vertex, that coming down to the sea level. So it's two angles, not one. Two angles, but they're added together.
But moreover, you need the sea level to do this.
Yes, exactly. And it's totally matching at all times the angular size of that observer height at that distance. Now, the thing about it is that there is no 7.83 miles for a 35-foot height, because you don't know how far away the horizon is. When you're at the sea, this is my point. They needed to add in, and I've said this a load of times before, they needed to add in a mathematical horizon distance to be able to do this. And it just happens that the angular size of 35 feet just happens to match 7.83 statute miles away. Like, shock and horror. How did that happen? That just happens, and just doubling that happens to just be exactly their 7/6 horizon dip. You know what I mean? What shock and horror? How did that happen? Does it happen with other heights? It happens with every single one of them, because that's what it's based off of. Essentially all they're doing is taking the observer height, right? This is essentially, and this is like Metabunk. When you look at Metabunk and it's trying to show you a 7/6 horizon dip, it's actually not. It's actually showing you half of that over. Basically, it's a half of that over that exact distance. Because all they're actually doing is taking the angular size of 35 feet at a distance of 7.83 statute miles and then doubling it, and saying the dip is actually 0.097 when it's actually 0.0485 twice.
Right.
I'll have to sit down and make a video about it. But basically, it's showing that the whole 7/6 thing is a joke. This is why Andrew Thomas Young done all these calculations over a flat plane.
Yeah.
Because that's all he's doing. Do you know what I mean? It all kind of ties together, but I will tie it together in a video.
Right, I'm going to have to disappear for this evening. Been a pleasure.
Yeah, me too.
With that, I'm going to say a huge, massive, enormous thank you to all of you in the Nathan Oakley 1980 members only Ballbusters after show stream or video or whatever you want to call it, or if you're watching after the fact, if I release this to the public. Massive thank you to all of you for smashing the like button, joining as a member, sharing, commenting, all that good stuff. I've been Nathan Oakley, and we will see you all in the next Ballbusters.